Good morning. It's your girl, Becky D. We live in the morning, 7 days a week at 7 a.m. Still on the lines of communication, all right? And I, was kind of bouncing back before between the two topics of what I really wanted to talk about. But, I'll keep them separate. Because I was about to put them together, but it might be a little too much in 15 minutes. So, let's talk about tone of voice. Just voice in communication. So, this is a way that you'll be communicating when it's through words using your voice. That could be a phone call. That could be in person. That could be a voice memo, a video, video chat, whatever the case may be. But it's audible, okay? So you're actually using your voice, which is 98% of the way that we communicate, all right? When you are talking, like right now, my voice is at a calm, steady, even like pace. Sometimes it's a little drawn out, but you know that I'm not trying to force anything on you, and I'm not beating something into your head. I'm not aggressive with it. So there's a difference here. There's, a difference for me going, hey, what are you doing? Like when you want somebody to listen, especially when you're dealing with kids, you have to realize that you have to come at them in a completely different tone. It's just that. Even some adults, you have to come to them with a completely different tone of voice. I like to think that chorus helped me with my tone of voices. Sometimes it's hard, especially when you're heated, you're mad. It's very hard to change your tone of voice because you're just sitting there like, okay. But just those little okays that I did, those were kind of harsh and kind of like, something wrong with her. She ready to go. So you want to kind of watch the level of the voice, okay? You want to make sure that it's on the same wavelength. Even if you're a public speaker, or you want to be a public speaker, or a motivational speaker, whatever other type of speaker there is out there. Maybe somebody asks you to speak at church or a school event or, something like that. Maybe you just being an MC or a comedian, okay? You have to know the tone of voice. Some of my favorite comedians are loud and boisterous people by nature. And so when they get on stage to do their act, you don't expect them to be soft and timid. No, you expect them to be loud and out there and aggressive. But that's their communication style, and it works for their comedy, okay? So there's okay times to be aggressive and loud and just when you're playing sports. Of course, when I'm communicating with you, I ain't got time to be like, hey you guys, hey, no, throw the ball the other way, no. You gotta be loud, you gotta be aggressive, you gotta let them know that you mean business, all right? So going back to the first set of four communication styles that we talked about, the director may use a more stern voice just because they're used to, okay, I've got my point across, now you're just aggravating me with all these little sideline questions, all right? So their voice may be like, that very authoritative type. That's why it's called director. Then you have the thinker, which I think the director needs a thinker as well. But the thinker may be the more timid and kind. You're like, well, you know what? Let me take some time and think about it, and I'll get back to you with everything that I find. Because, they're handled that in that way. When you call the doctor office, they really, truly, they don't really have a thinker. They just have somebody who plays the thinker. Because, goodwill, that they know the answer right then and there. But it's for some reason, some of them just like make you wait. And then you have, The socializer's voice is going to be a little bit more here and there and kind of everywhere. Just a person who is like, they're in the moment, literally, truly in the moment. Just because that's what they're known for. They're known for living in the moment. They're known for, just communicating based on the style that is needed. And that's truly going to be how it is. And the relator is also kind of timid in voice tone. If you ever see someone whose communication style is a relator and their like personality matches it to a T too, and they yell at somebody, I usually tell somebody, I'm like, you done messed up big time. I don't know what it is you did. You ain't got to tell me what you did, but I can tell you done messed up. Because they ain't never yell at nobody. You know how you blow it up. They ain't never yell at nobody. But it's true. Like, it's something about it. When you cross a person who's a relator type communication style, it's, oh boy. I call that the dangerous one. Especially with tone of voice. Because, it's just sweet and subtle. I like to call them the nurses, They're just like, oh, poor baby. And then next thing I know, they sitting in all but picking you up and throwing you against the wall. I never forget my nurse did that. She, I can't remember what it was that happened. Oh, I had an allergic reaction. And I've had quite a few of those in my life. And she needed to give me a shot. So I'm sitting there and I was like, okay, I had a little jacket on because it was chilly that morning. It was summertime, but it was chilly. And I, had my arm out so she could go ahead. And she looks at me, she starts laughing. She says, no. And I was like, what? She was like, it's not that kind of shot. And I was like, well, what kind of shot is it? I was like, oh, I ain't 21, but we doing shots? And she was like, no. And I was like, okay. I'm not getting what you put down. And then it kind of clicked at the time, like 5 minutes into it, the conversation, that this was going to be a shot in the butt. And and I was very non-compliant. So her little sweet and timid and just like cheery self turned violent on me real quick. She's like, look at, either you can go ahead and get this shot now, or you can just continue to let your allergic reaction get worse, and we'll see you at the hospital. And I mean, I'm saying in a calm voice, but at the time, she was just like, okay, you're wasting my time now, let's go. Yeah, I cried like a baby, I ain't about to lie. If you ever got to get a shot in the butt, I applaud you, because that hurts. That really and truly hurts. That's why I call it the nurse like mentality and communication style, because nurses, they're usually like, they are relators. They're like, wow, okay, yeah. Especially some doctors are just mean as well. But my doctor, she turned up on me too. So that's what I'm saying. It's really, really scary. You gotta watch it. I went in there. It was very bad allergy season. It looked like this was going to be a very bad allergy season for all you allergy sufferers. Please take care of yourself. Go ahead and start suiting up now. Get those allergy methods that you have in you. If you're using an inhaler, go ahead and make sure you got a good supply, because this summer is this spring, this whole allergy season, because it's going to be longer than just the springtime. It's going to be pretty brutal. So definitely our trees didn't even like die off all the way. Like, we didn't have a sufficient winter or fall. So it's just like, especially a lot of our animals, they don't know what to do right now. So definitely, I know I just took some time to start talking about that in the middle of communication. But I needed to make sure I communicate that to you because I know how I suffer. And it got so bad one year that I was wheezing a lot when I would cough. Excuse me. When I would cough or talk or just like have a simple laugh. And I love to laugh, y'all. I'm a very fun person. And I'm sitting there, and my mom went with me. Don't ever take somebody with you when you're wheezing. And I started coughing because we were talking about something, and I was laughing, and then I couldn't stop. And she just flips the switch and started yelling at me. And I was like, I didn't do anything. But I did stop wheezing and coughing. It was like a trick she had. It scared me half to death. So you gotta watch the tone of voice, okay? And definitely try to teach your kids that at a young age. Be like, okay, I understand that you are coming with me with, something that you would like to talk about, but I felt like you came at me yelling. There's a lot of kids, you'll notice at a young age, they have a hard time hearing themselves because they're screaming at you. It's not like they're trying to scream at you, they just can't hear you. And so I just try to tell them, all right, you're yelling at me. And, I just keep saying, okay, you're still yelling at me. I know you can't hear yourself, but you're legit in my face yelling at me. Now I'm thinking that you're having a problem with me. You want to sit there. Have you ever sit there in the store? You're talking on the phone with whoever it is on the phone. It's your phone. I don't care who on your phone. And I've had this happen to me several times, okay? Didn't say any cuss words. Didn't do any of this. It was just my tone of voice. And I'm just sitting there, I was like, I know you did not just do that. And this lady turns around and looks at me and she's like, did what? And I apologized. I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm on my phone. And she's like, oh, okay. I was saying, I was a little confused as to why she was in the middle of my conversation. But then I had to realize I was talking loud. And then how direct it was, it did sound like I would be talking to somebody in front of me and not on the phone. So, yeah. I've had a few priceless moments like that. So even when you're on the phone, guys, in the middle of a store, watch how you say stuff, because people around you may actually think that you're talking to them for some odd reason. Maybe they just needed somebody to talk to. And that happens. I go to the store and people just start a conversation. And I was like, I don't know you, but you seem like you need to talk. So I'm listening. Did that yesterday. I tried to walk away. He's like, she's following me. So definitely watch your tone of voice, watch your level. The octaves matter, okay? I know y'all may not be, music majors or know anything about music other than, oh, hey, that got a nice beat. But the octaves. So if I'm sitting here and I'm mad at you and I'm getting like pitchy, and when I say pitchy, I mean like very high. For a female, if you're a guy that a female is yelling at and she gets that high pitched, I'm sorry, but she no longer like you. And that's just that, okay? Because females, we do tend to get a little bitchy, all right? So, and people are probably trying to figure out, why are you rambling on about the tone and all this stuff? Because it's very important, and you need to know it. You need to watch it, okay? The next time you go up to your boss or whoever, and you just walk in there, just do an experiment. Walk in there and be like, I need a raise. And you'd be like, okay, no. Because now you're yelling at me. Like, you're yelling at me demanding something. You go in there, he's like, hey, you don't even have to give him backstory. He's like, hey, I really do think that I deserve a raise. That's a little bit more calmer. They are a little bit more acceptable to what you're saying and will really put some thought into it. It's like, she might make a good point. Like, she's been here for about 10 years now. It might be time that we, gave her a little increase in pay there. So it's all on the approach and how you come about it. Like, don't be coming out there like, knucking and bucking. Just calm down. Use a better tone, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. That's why I rambled on for so long about tone of voice and the pitch and all this stuff, okay? And octaves and, me getting shot in the butt. You have to understand that we, as a people, are trying to constantly communicate with each other, but it's just getting lost in translation, all right? Especially sometimes when English is not our first language, it can be very difficult for you to understand that some things we say in a different way, in a different tone, in a different context. So it's all a learning curve. Like when I tried German in actual Germany, it was horrible, okay? I was trying to say stop. I don't know why they were teaching me the word stop. Out of all the words that I should have known, stop was one of the ones, I guess. And I was trying to mock what they said so I could get it right. And you speak with such a harsh that it sounded like I would just be yelling stop at people instead of just saying stop. Like, so, sometimes it's just a culture difference. So don't take everything to heart if you're on the other end of the communication line, okay? Just understand the person think about their communication style could be slightly different from yours, if not totally different, and that sometimes their personalities are just different from you as well. Okay, so work on your tone of voice today. Change it up. See how things go for you. Maybe you'll have a better day at work today, or have a better day in school today or class. It's never bad to try something new. It's never bad to try something new. So go try something new today. With that, I'm gonna end on that note of trying something new today. My name is Becky D, with Becky D in the Morning, and I will talk with you all tomorrow morning.